Welcome back everyone, Benjamin here from beautiful Zurich, Switzerland. Today we are going to focus on one of my most favorite stocks right now, Innovative Industrial Properties, which focuses on the US cannabis market. We are going to talk about the company itself and how they performed in the last years. And last, I'm going to show you our two important charts. So stay tuned and watch the video until the end. So let's talk about the business itself. I will show you the main page. So currently this company only focuses on leasing back properties to companies, to cannabis companies in the US and not in Canada. I think this is important to say because these two countries have a slight difference in regulations and laws regarding this industry, and it only focuses on leasing back properties to customers in the US. They have currently a number of 110 properties, as you can see down here, and in 19 states, such as California, Florida, Texas, and North Dakota, and many others. They have an investor capital of 2.3 billion, and the company currently consists of 19 employees, so it's a relatively small one, and it has only been around since 2016. About the company itself, I want to discuss this too, because for investors who don't know about this company is a real estate investment trust, as you can see down here. It holds capital and acquires properties of cannabis companies and leases it back to them, so it generates a monthly revenue in rent. And because it is a REIT, it distributes at least 90% of its taxable incomes back to their shareholders as a dividend. So can the very high dividend payment be explained. And since 2017, they are paying out a regular dividend. I think it's going to be interesting how this company will establish itself in the future, because I really believe in the cannabis market, and it's for sure a rising industry, and we will see how the public and the health industry will take up these cannabis medications, and I think it's going to be interesting to observe this company in the future. So to lose a few words about the fundamentals of this company, down here I said this company is around since 2017, and I can see the performance of this company since the year 2018. As you can see, they started with a very, very low revenue in 2018, and since then established itself in the US market and never posted a loss. This is very surprising for me in the last years, and finished the last year of 2022 with a net income of more than 150 million. And of course, most of it went directly to shareholders. This is a very surprising fact in the cannabis industry, because most companies in this sector aren't really profitable yet, such as Tilray, Canopy Growth, or others. And I think this is a really big bonus that this company manages to pull such a big gain every year. Meanwhile, most companies in this sector fail to post any positive earnings. And just like I said, the dividend yield is currently at 9.91%. And here's the dividend history of the company. You saw the earnings in the page before, and they have since then increased the dividend payments every year since then. It could be that the dividend payments could slightly change in the next years based on how the company performs. Maybe they won't have a successful 2023 or something else happens, just so that you might know. It really depends on how the company performs itself. But I want to show you this tool. This is a tool from tradingview.com which tracks and makes projections about the future of a company. And as you can see, it has a really big outlook on the future, and it's going to be an interesting ride for sure. But let's focus on the chart. That's our main work here at Mind Capital. The company got listed in the early years of 2016, and since then performed a massive rally until November 21, and since then we had this really big crash. I want to explain this in detail, since this whole movement can be counted as a wave 1 impulse until the year 2019, and then we had this A, B, C correction. This was the COVID-19 crash, most of you might remember this, and then we had this huge rally in a wave 3 with multiple 1-2s, which pushed the price above $200, and this was a huge rally back then, and I had to say I was impressed back then. Then we had this wave 4 and this wave 5, and the interesting part here is that the company topped out in November 21. Back then, crypto also topped out at the all-time highs, and it slightly correlated in the last years with crypto and the crash, obviously, but the correlation stopped somewhere here, and the two sectors aren't correlating with each other anymore. Since this top, we had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and currently we are in the last wave 5 of this movement. This was a 1, 2, a bearish one, and I expect that the price should finally push below $70, and I would be pleased if we see a touch of the $60 level. As you can see, I drawn this green buy zone. It ranges from $70 to $30. I am going to build up positions in this green zone. I'm going to buy, just that I pointed this out. But about the future of this company, this is the same chart, but in a heavily simplified way. As you can see, wave 1, 2. Currently, we had no B wave at all, or another corrective movement, and therefore I expect that we will establish a B wave in the next years, which will push the price back above $200 or even more. And I expect that we will establish a wave C again in the next years, so the correction won't be over until 2025, just that you keep this in mind. Currently, I believe that this is a zigzag correction or a flat. I will have to observe the company in the future, and of course I will tell you guys more about this if I know more. But just that I pointed this out, we will have a long correction in the future. But the price target of the next wave 3 is at $530, but keep in mind that this target will only be reached after 2027 or 2028. That's my personal projection. It can happen earlier, of course, but as you guys know, this is crypto, and stocks trade relatively slower than cryptos, so it will take longer, of course. So I will update this on our site regularly in the next months and keep you guys updated about this. You can subscribe to our website if you want. It's currently free of charge, and I can only advise to watch this company. It's a real gem, and the dividend payments are really, really good in the current market situation regarding the S&P and Nasdaq, with increasing interest rates and falling equity values. So let's see what happens, and see you guys tomorrow.